Hey, Zeke.
See?
Did you know that today's show is sponsored by CaskCartel.com?
Maybe.
When you're sitting at home at night and it's late, the liquor store's closed, you're bored, you're on the couch, you're like, I'm all out of my Wheatley vodka, or I'm all out of my gin. You got to get more. Or maybe it's your whiskey. Whatever it is, CaskCartel.com will get it shipped right to your door. They have some store picks, even though it's not a lot. There's some Breaking Bourbon picks on there. This is not going to be the place you go to get crazy bourbon and crazy whiskey. But if you want some good daily drinkers, be it bourbon, be it gin, be it vodka, tequila, mezcal, whatever it is, go to CaskCartel.com. They are changing the industry standard. They're like the Amazon of the spirits industry. You know what that means, Zeke?
I know what Amazon is.
So you know how Amazon is not the one who's actually doing the selling? They're kind of getting stores. They're a place to bring stores together with the consumer.
I mean, I hit this pay button on the Amazon.com.
Yeah, it goes through Amazon, but there is another store that is actually fulfilling that order.
Okay, yes.
So that's what Cask Cartel does, so that you can sit on the couch with one hand and order your liquor.
One hand, you say?
Yeah. CaskCartel.com. Follow them on Instagram, CaskCartel.com, or also follow them on Facebook. Another thing I have to tell you before we start the show, it's a secret.
You got a lot on your forehead today.
Why?
Well, you just keep telling me stuff.
But it is a secret, and the secret is out. If you are a distillery, you probably already know the secret. DistilleryProducts.com has the best prices and selection around for your engraved, laser etched glass needs. They have all your Glencairns. They are the only place in America that is a wholesaler where you can get the neat glass. They have the Tua glass, and that is an Irish whiskey tasting glass. It's a total secret. The people that knew about them, the way that I found out about them was distilleries. And they have great wholesale products that you can engrave. That's what we use for all of our glasses on the show. DistilleryProducts.com. They have flasks, glasses, all sorts of cool stuff if you want to put a brand on it or a logo on it. If you are a bourbon group, if you are a store, if you are a distillery, you are missing the boat if you are not using DistilleryProducts.com. And we thank them for providing all of our glassware on Dad's Drinking Bourbon.
It might be a tough move with the Tua glass here in the South.
Is that like a football reference?
Yeah, Alabama's quarterback. He goes by the name of Tua.
Well, I have Threa.
Well, Kentucky's Threa ain't going to beat Alabama and Tua.
No. DistilleryProducts.com. Check them out. Hello, everyone. My name is John Edwards, and I am without Zeke Baker, but together we make the Dad's Drinking Bourbon. Wherever you are, whatever time it is, thank you for making us a part of your day. I do have a very suitable replacement, though. He was absent from the Pigeon Forge episode where I was with Keener at Old Forge. The man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Chris Tatum, the president of the Tennessee Distillers Guild. Thank you so much for being on. We are at Grains and Grits here in Townsend, Tennessee. This is a hell of an event.
Man, yes, it is. Thank you so much for being here. We love having you here. Hopefully, Zeke.
Zeke's never going to come.
He's never going to come. He just won't. Yeah.
You're better off that way.
Is it?
I promise you.
I got it. I feel like he's really the man, the myth, the legend. You know what I'm saying? Like,
a lot of people think he is an enigma, but they realize too that he has a 4-year-old and a 1-year-old right now.
I gotcha.
And there's no way he's getting away for the weekend.
I understand. Well, maybe Zeke can be here at Grains 10. You know what I'm saying?
What number are we on right now?
We're on 4.
Yeah, by 10 maybe.
By 10 maybe, okay. Well, you're right. It's crazy. We're actually maxed out this year. We capped the tickets so everybody gets the interaction they want with the distillers and restaurateurs. So
that was over 1,200 people.
Yeah,
right?
It's been great, man. It's an amazing growth. This is an event that started 4 years ago. This is our 4th year, and it just continues to grow.
Every event I go to, and there's been a few that I've gone to this year, I'm like, man, this one might be the best event, then the next one, and then this event, it has the most beautiful backdrop here at the Townsend Visitor Center, where you have the mountains in the back, You have a complete, huge, wide open space, so nobody feels like you're right on top of somebody.
It's the perfect setting for food and whiskey. It's an absolutely amazing thing. You can't even begin to describe it on the podcast here, but the setting's perfect, the town's perfect. Whiskey and food, some fire out here. This is great.
Oh, it's awesome. Have you had any of the food yet?
Man, I have not had it yet. I've been walking and walking.
You are like the man that everybody wants to get. You have your Indiana Jones hat on.
I do.
It looks very good.
I'm looking for short round. Where's my handy my little assistant Keener? He was being
Keener said he was getting drunk, and I wasn't allowed to have him on the podcast because he doesn't want to be known for anything that he's about to say.
It's probably better that we are keeping Keener off the podcast for this one.
He's already been on. He ruined one by tapping the microphone. The second one, he was good. I think we just got to have him quit while he's ahead.
I love it.
How many distilleries are now in the guild?
So we are at 36 distilleries as members of the guild. Now that number does differ a little bit when it comes from as far as the number of distilleries on the trail. But we do have 36 in the guild, and it's growing. We've grown every year. We've had a couple that we've had, unfortunately, had some tragic stuff with Jug Creek, but I hate that, and hopefully one day we're going to be able to the plan is to welcome them back in. But we've had growth every year. We continue to grow from a member perspective. Our tourism numbers are through the roof, and they continue to grow as well. So we've got a good team, so we're pretty happy.
Lots of great events like this. Like I said, anytime you can marry food with whiskey, you're doing something well. There have been some great stuff here between Walnut Kitchen. Then they had Knox flatbreads were really good. There's one down there, I can't think of the name of it right now.
You got RT Lodge, Walnut Kitchen, Dancing Bear.
Dancing Bear had a great pork stew.
The Old Mill restaurant.
Now, I had the shrimp and grits from the Old Mill.
That's pretty awesome, isn't it?
They put some bacon on there, too. It was super good.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. I think one of the best things is definitely the fact that you have that interaction and with the food. It's not just, you're not just getting Applebee's or whatever. It's and no offense to Applebee's. I'm not saying that.
What, you don't like all you could eat?
Yeah, we don't have. But these are, a lot of these are chefs that are, these are their menus, their passion. Trevor at RT Lodge last night, what about that meal he put on there? Oh,
God. There was a reception last night, and he put together this awesome, awesome meal. It was chicken, barbecue chicken, some ribs. I will tell you that at the very end of the table, there was biscuits, and then you had butter and what I thought was jam. And I put that on my biscuit. Did he tell you about this?
I heard this. Please tell everyone.
And I put it on my biscuit. It was barbecue sauce. And then I just figured, all right, well, it's already there. Let's put some sausage in there and make a sandwich.
Make a sandwich out of it. He did. Chef Trevor Stockton there at RT Lodge did a phenomenal job. As you said, the chicken, the ribs, the sausage. He had some sweet potato. What was that sweet potato mix, man? That was crazy good.
That was really good.
And then some collard greens.
The greens were some of the best greens I've had.
And those are hard to make.
And the beans were good.
Oh, yeah.
But it was all the folks, we're all staying at Little Arrow. Yeah. So all the good folks over at Little Arrow. So this is the big event that is happening to kind of cap off this year. This
is something that we feel like this is a good way to kick off the season, Our focus has been to make sure we put one of these events, very high level integrity, high level, the aesthetics part of it, the functioning part of it, but the guest experience at the end being the best. And we want to do one in each region. And we're able to do that now. We've got Memphis Spirits Soul Festival in Memphis. That's in April.
Yep.
We got Grains this month in East Tennessee, here in Townsend, Tennessee. And then
Tennessee Whiskey Christmas.
There you go, yeah.
Now, Tennessee Whiskey Christmas is the first one coming to Nashville. That's kind of cool. That's going to be all the distilleries from the Guild again. There's going to be a dinner Friday night, December 13th. December 14th is a Saturday. That is going to have a thing at the Omni Hotel in Nashville. That Friday night dinner, there's going to be a few chefs there. They're going to be cooking food on the side of your table. It's at the George Jones. John Rich is going to do a concert. But let's talk a little bit about that Saturday. What is the event at the Omni going to entail?
So the event, the Omni, as I was thinking about this, the big thing is there's a lot of whiskey festivals that take place, or bourbon festivals. But the badass thing about ours in December is it's only Tennessee whiskey. And we all know Tennessee whiskey is the best liquid on the earth. Plain and freaking simple. That's it. It's the best liquid on earth. So you're going to come to Nashville, one of the best cities in the state, and then you're going to have the best whiskey.
I don't think Pigeon Forge is a city.
Oh, Pigeon Forge is a city.
Is it a town or a city?
It's a city.
Okay.
City of Pigeon Forge.
It is a city.
It is. City of Pigeon Forge. How are we on Pigeon Forge? And we were talking about Saturday event. This is awesome. Well, we can go down some rabbit holes.
We can, but
I like it.
This Saturday event, it's going to be only Tennessee whiskey. You were talking about how you were kind of throwing some shade at Nashville, just saying it is one of the best cities in the state.
It is one of the best. I mean, it is. I mean, it's one of the best.
So it's the best, and then
one of the best. We're saying the same thing. One of the best.
So anyways, it's going to be Tennessee whiskey. How many distilleries are going to be there? Is it going to be all 20?
It's going to be. We're actually going to have all the
36?
same group. Yeah, the same group will be there. We're going to do it a little. It'll be a little bit of difference. It'll be a lot more focused on a specific cocktail. There'll still be the same opportunities to meet and greet. But one of the things I think we're the most proud and the most happy about is that we're going to showcase all of our spirits in the state capital. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's something that we all should be proud of, and we're thankful. Hey, we appreciate L5. We appreciate you guys. Dad's Drinking Bourbon has been a huge supporter of Tennessee whiskey. I kind of feel like you graduated to like grad school when you started talking about Tennessee whiskey and stuff, and I think that's awesome.
Well, I don't think there's enough people that talk about it, and it's events like these. If you come to the event like Grains and Grits, or you come to Tennessee Whiskey Christmas, you're going to see, like, Jack Daniels, we always know they're doing some good stuff. The single barrel proof, the program they're having there, we just picked a barrel. Jack's always going to be the number one whiskey producer in the world. But then you have other places like Chattanooga Whiskey that just came out with the 91 and 111. Nelson's that just came out with their Tennessee whiskey. There's going to be a 12-year Old Forge that's coming out here soon. Billy from Short Mountain just released a rye.
Yeah.
There's Stanton's always cooking up good stuff at Postmodern. Heath, the stuff he's doing down at Thompson Station. Like, there's so much good stuff. And I skimmed just, there's Kings County, there's moonshine places, right? Doc Collier's, Knox Whiskey Works. I could just list all of the things in the whiskey trail, but Old Glory up, that's some.
Hey, man, we cover, look, you've got Lost State, which is up at Bristol, Virginia, the Bristol, Tennessee, Bristol, Virginia line. So we're from Lost State to Memphis, from Bristol, Tennessee to Memphis. I mean, we cover the entire state. And so for us, we could list them all. I mean, again, you mentioned Short Mountain, you got Old Tennessee, you got bootleggers, you got all kinds of them,
There's Keener. He's
Keener's
just messing
here.
with you.
Keener's here. He's messing with Mr. Pritchard came by here. The elder statesman of the group just came by here. So
Mr. Pritchard and I were having a good time talking last night.
Good.
He is a great guy. He and his folks just brought me some rum because they said I was cold. They were like, here, have some of this rum. But, I mean, that's the thing that I think separates Tennessee from Kentucky is that Tennessee has a lot of different, it's not just whiskey. I mean, we are a whiskey podcast, but you have Pritchard's rum, you have Heath's gin, you have all the stuff that you guys are doing with moonshine and that Old Smoky's doing with moonshine and Sugarlands. But there's also, just a lot of good spirits in general.
Yeah, and that's something, listen, here's the thing. It was a big discussion. We had the Tennessee Whiskey Trail, and they're like, oh my gosh, well, we got all this other stuff. Well, everybody knows Tennessee whiskey. And so that's going to draw you in. And then we're going to keep you here because you're going to get great gin, you're going to get great vodka, you're going to get, a phenomenal rum. You've got a ton of other spirits that are being played with, whether it's a barrel aging process or some different infusion stuff. Corsair does some crazy good stuff.
Corsair does some.
Oh man, did you see their bottles?
Yeah,
man, that's.
Well, I don't know if we're allowed to talk about that.
He shouldn't have shown us.
No, did you see the case that he brought them in?
That was pretty badass.
That was official. I mean, that kind of goes along with their whole aesthetic, like that Reservoir Dogs.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
he had
Bourbon
the
for
briefcase,
badasses.
opened it up, and it's that new bottling on it. Yeah.
Beautiful. Yes. We'll save that for you to talk to Tyler on another podcast and take some pics on Instagram. You're a big Instagram guy, so.
out of necessity.
I know. Well, you're a big guy on Instagram and a big Instagram guy.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah. There you are throwing shade.
But I'm big too.
Yeah.
I mean, we're both big guys. This is not something that anybody can, or that either one of us can deny.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
No. And I think I look scary skinny. I'll show you a picture of me skinny. You might be like, you need to stay fat the whole rest of your life because you just don't look good skinny. I'm not lying to you. I'll show you a picture and you'll be like, that was you?
Yeah, it's like, yeah, you stay large.
You look better with a few pounds on you. I almost think it's interesting just the ways that you guys flip the script. These guild events, I have to assume that it's different because a lot of these whiskey events that people go to, not everybody realizes it, but like it costs money to get a table. Some of these things are $500 a table and you're bringing your own product. So you're losing more money because you're bringing your own product. It's all coming out of your marketing budget. Not to get serious for a second, but these guild events are almost a way for everybody to take care of each other, and you can have something that doesn't cost you an arm and a leg to set up, right?
Yeah, and I think the other part of this, another benefit of these guild events is we're not charging anybody to be here.
Yeah.
We've partnered with some great people like Blunt Partnership, L5, the City of Memphis, Downtown Association, and Old Dominic. And Sugarlands has done some stuff for us as well. They provide us opportunities to market our product and sell our product, while at the same time we're building that whole brand up. There's several of the board members, we all kind of agree, hey, in that board, we're brothers and sisters in this industry, and then we're going to let the marketing teams fight it out, And I think we've stuck true to that pretty tight, and it's allowed us all to benefit from guild events.
Yeah. So I do want to mention, though, and because you brought it up, that Tennessee Whiskey Christmas, that is going to benefit the L5 Foundation, and that is essentially providing a lot of good stuff to people that have cancer. It's giving gas cards to those folks. It's giving food cards to those folks. I know that I was talking to them, and their goal with that Tennessee Whiskey Christmas event, I think they want to get something like, it's something crazy like 1,000 to $20 gas cards and like $550 Kroger gift certificate.
Cards,
so there's stuff that they are going to be doing with that, and the stuff that the guild could help. These events help out a whole lot of other people, and it's one of those really, really cool things that the guild can do.
Yeah, I mean, it's a different way of thinking of how you're going to help that patient or that person that's receiving the treatment.
Yeah,
and I love that they're thinking kind of outside the box. I know that's a little of a cliche, but the fact they're thinking outside the box, I think, is huge. And they're providing the gift, the gas cards and the food cards, and we're just happy as a guild that they're want to do something with us, and they see value in us, and that we can bring something to the table. And partnering with L5 has been a great thing for us thus far.
Now, speaking of another member in the guild, we were just joined, and you are two of my favorite people in whiskey. I should mention that, but you are also two of my favorite people to give shit in the whiskey industry.
Fair enough.
Greg Edens from Sugarlands has just sat down and he brought some Roaming Man, and there was this picture. Can we talk about the infamous picture that was used for the Grains and Grits website that had you with a very long beard?
The fake beard?
It looked a little fake, but it also looked like, because I don't know if you want to tell everybody how old you are, but you were blessed with boyishly good looks.
Right.
And the beard,
This is getting thick.
The beard,
Deep.
The beard looked like a 12-year-old put on a fake beard and was going to go try
I had no business growing a beard like that.
I feel like I guess where I almost threw up was when you said boyish good looks. Not the how about just boyish looks? You know what I'm saying? We've got some fans here, some lady fans in front of us that you can't see.
No, they're all there for Greg.
Sneaking up behind me.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Watch my back.
I thought it
They
was
should.
Tatum's hat that was getting them to dance.
What's your new line? About losing hair up there. Something about it's getting a lot of play on that field or something. What was that
I
line?
missed it. Yeah. I will get it back with you on that one. We'll have to edit that one in. But that was a great one. It was Joe.
It was a really good line.
Joe Rice-A-Roni
Rice-A-Roni.
from Discus.
Rice-A-Roni Tony?
Joe Rice-A-Roni from Discus.
Diodoni.
No, Rice-A-Roni as far as I'm concerned.
Rice-A-Roni.
You knew the moment that he said that.
Yes.
That was tagged forever. Anyway, he had a great saying about bald guys. And I will get him to send me that quote so you and I both can use it.
But you're not really bald. You just shave down.
No, I'm bald, dude.
No, but you shave down. You don't.
No,
you
he
don't
needs
bick
to
it.
shave it down.
Like you just gotta.
Yeah, that's bald.
You just gotta bick it. Go ahead and go in the shower. It's so much easier. Like, do you spend money on haircuts?
Oh, yeah,
or do
but
you-
I do because I love it. I love the way I love somebody washing my head. It's not hair anymore. I love somebody washing my head.
Well, here's the benefit to bicking your hair. I just want to let you know this. So you can go to the barber and you can get a straight razor shave on your head. And if you do that like once a quarter, it's like spa day for yourself. They massage.
But isn't it some old dude?
No. It depends on where you go. It's not always there are barber shops that have both men and women.
All right. Well, yeah. I need some
I
tender
don't know.
loving care.
I'm going to buy into this. But
I think he sent
did
me
you
up
get your
to go.
nails done while you're there? What else do you
I
do?
am a firm believer. I will tell you guys this right now. Every guy should get a pedicure. Every
My
guy.
wife keeps trying to convince me, and I keep saying I'm not going there.
Here's how I'll convince you, right? You balance and rotate the tires on your car, don't you? Mm-hmm. So aren't the feet the tires of your body? Wouldn't you want to maintain your feet because that's what you use to walk around every day?
I've done pretty well for 48 years without it.
Oh, he just admitted his age.
48.
Oh, finally.
It's there. It's there.
48.
But my philosophy is you're only as old as you act.
Yes.
So I will be forever young. Though my hair is definitely giving me away. And I have an agreement with my wife that she's going to just tell me when it's time to shave it. Just needs to be honest with me.
Yep.
Come clean and just say, babe, it's time.
Own it.
The hardest thing to figure
totally own
out
it.
is whether or not you have, like, if you have a good shaped head where if you shave it, you know it's not going to look awkward.
Yeah.
That's the hardest thing to get past. It's like once you know
good-
that you're
yeah.
not going to look
You
bad.
probably do.
Once you know that you're not going to look bad that way, it's a lot easier just to go shave.
I did
Yeah, but I
shave
mean-
my head about 20 years ago. So it was all right.
I bet you. Let me take the hat off. Yeah,
It's getting
kinda
a little. It's getting
mush-
pretty thin.
Yeah, but it's also kind of mushroomy. His head is. You know what I'm saying? Like it's got a little mushroom to it.
No, he's going to look good.
Mine's just fat. Mine's just a fat head. That's all there is to it.
But in all
Let's talk about
seri-
Roaming Man.
In all seriousness, and I picked it up. That was a great segue. Thank you. You guys just released the 8th version of Roaming Man, right?
did.
This is edition number 8. Chris Tatum, ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
Thank you for your time. I just got a buzz, and I think I'm supposed to be up there for a second.
No worries. Go do
Is
your
that good?
thing.
Thank
you so much.
No, thank you for your time.
And
You're awesome. Keep
we're-
talking.
we're going downhill
Roaming Man's
now.
awesome.
Chris is leaving us.
No. This now you're going to get to the intellectual part of the podcast.
Right.
He's talking to Greg.
No, it's all right. It's
See you guys.
it's getting a lot better. Thank you, Chris. Okay, sorry. Tatum got up and kind of busted our flow, but people don't always associate Sugarlands with whiskey. You guys are the official moonshine of NASCAR. You do some stuff with Cole Swindell. There's plenty of great moonshine that you guys have. You also do the stuff with the moonshiners themselves, the ones that are on the Discovery Channel. Right. What made you decide to do a whiskey? That has to be a little a departure. I mean, was it probably a welcome departure for you, right?
Very welcome. Whiskey is definitely more, I guess, my passion. That's what I choose to drink on a daily basis. So from the beginning, we knew we wanted whiskey and we wanted to do it right. Fortunately, the moonshine has done very well for us.
Yep.
And it pays the bills. It's also a lot of fun, play around with all these different flavors. Great connections, obviously, with NASCAR and country music, and as you mentioned, the Moonshiners TV show. So we've just been really fortunate to have a wonderful run with the moonshine. So it's not going anywhere. It's going to continue to be something that we focus on, especially up in Gatlinburg. Just fitting right there in the foothills of Smoky Mountains and the birthplace, really, of moonshine and that whole history. But whiskey was definitely something that we knew we had to do. And as soon as we could do it right, didn't really have years and years of experience with whiskey, especially the maturation side of things. So it's a learning process.
And every time it comes out, it's been a little bit older, right? With the Roaming Man?
We've had a little bit of a mix. So we've gone anywhere from 2 years was our youngest release, but that was 25-gallon barrels. And we're up to as old as 4 years. It's been a mix with each release. So
what about this one? Tell me about this 8th Roaming Man.
This release was, I want to say, 3 years, 3 months, I believe, something like that. It was a mix of 9 barrels. So we married 9 barrels. Most of those were 25-gallon barrels, and we had 3 53-gallon barrels. Like the mix of those barrels, too, because it adds to the complexity. You get different characteristics out of these 25-gallon barrels, and we're using, this is so important as we're discovering, but really premium barrels. Really focus on the quality of the barrels, air-dried staves. We, charred, but then we toast the heads, so you get a lot of complexity and stuff out of there. And then you get very different characteristics coming out of a 25 versus a 53. So when you marry those together, it helps.
What's the mash on this one? Or are they different for all 9
No,
barrels?
these have all been the same mash. So it's our rye whiskey. So we went with a 51% rye, 45% corn, 4% malted barley.
That's kind of what I get on the taste, too, where it's not super spicy. I mean, that rye spice is there, but it's not overwhelming.
Right.
It's kind of like that Knob Creek rye, where sometimes it's very it tastes like it has a lot of bourbon characteristics. Sometimes it has a lot of rye characteristics. But I really think it's a nice marriage where it's got a lot of that corn, and everybody kind of expects. I feel like MGP with that 95.5 rye has given so many people expectations of what a rye would be like. So if you get a rye that is not 95.5, you're kind of like, what's this?
Absolutely. Everybody, that 95 rye, I mean, it's good, for no doubt, but I think that's going with 51%. Obviously, we were shooting for the bare minimum to be rye whiskey.
Yep.
Just to give it that, I just loved the balance. The complexity, the uniqueness of it, without being overbearing on the rye, and I think it was a great place for maybe newer rye whiskey drinkers to get into it.
Yeah, and what's the proof on this one? Because it's normally
this particular batch is 123 proof,
yeah.
So it's quite strong, straight out of the barrel into the bottle.
It does not taste 123 proof. Maybe it's because it's cold and we're all layered
up. It is perfect whiskey drinking weather right now.
It is a perfect rye whiskey drinking weather. It's great. I love this event. I was talking to Tatum about it, but I really love this event.
It's just an amazing event when you can get 30 distilleries together and just come together seamlessly and put on a show like this. It's amazing.
Oh, I love the backdrop here. I love the backdrop of the mountains. I love all the food. Did you go around, because we were trying to talk about this for a second, because our booths are right next to each other. You were about an hour and a half in and you did not get food. Did you rectify that?
I did go get food, and it's amazing.
Which one was your favorite?
Oh my gosh. I had some sausage from, I'm going to not remember who it was from, though, which is really sad because I need to give
Walnut Kitchen?
I want to say Walnut Kitchen.
Walnut Kitchen was one of my favorite. And they made the sauce with H. Clark Black and Tan.
Black and Tan, yes.
It was really, really good.
Yep, that was the one.
That, I think, might be my favorite that I've had here. The shrimp and grits from Old Mill were great. There was a flatbread pizza from
I did not get the shrimp
barbecue.
and grits, so I may have to try to find that.
Well, what else is there? I feel like I really want to sit down and do a longer podcast with you, and tonight might not be the best night for that. Talk about how you got into distilling, all your favorite things that you do, what goes into it, a little deeper into Sugarlands. but what else can be on the horizon? What can we talk about? I'm sure you're mixing some stuff up. What should people be on the lookout for, and when's edition 9 going to come out?
Edition 9 will be out in March of 2020. We are going to have a special batch come out next year as well. It'll be something a little unique, so very different than what we've done for sure. And then we're working on Tennessee whiskey as well. So
nice.
That's definitely in our future plans, no doubt. We're putting in a new barrel house. So when we get together and talk more in detail about Sugarlands, we'll talk about that. But we've got a barrel house that's nearing completion, which is going to give us room to obviously put some barrels away and start increasing our production quite
That's
a bit.
awesome.
We're trying to grow that side of things. And then we're also building a new distillery to focus on Roaming Man.
Oh, wow. So is that still going to be on the Strip, or will that be away a little bit?
It'll be away. It's in Kodak, where our warehouse is. So the barrel house is out there as well.
So it'll save you on having to drive through that Gatlinburg traffic.
It will. Though I'll need to split my time between the two facilities. We're going to continue producing in Gatlinburg. We're going to keep the program going just as it is, but be able to make a lot more whiskey.
Well, that is awesome, Greg. We'll let you get back to this fun event.
It is fun.
Thank you for the Roaming Man. It was really good. And everybody, I mean, Sugarlands is on everything, right? They're on Instagram, Sugarland Shine, Facebook, all that stuff. Check them out. They are in Gatlinburg, right on the Strip. Anything else you want the people to know before you go?
Get into the Tennessee Whiskey Trail. So this is... I'm sure you've probably talked with Chris, a lot about this.
Keep talking about it.
I want to give it another plug because I think it's really something special that we've got going. They've got that Bourbon Trail little thing up there in Kentucky that they talk about. In our infancy, we're only a couple years into this, and we've got more visitors to our trail than they do combined. So we're quite proud of that. We barely even touched the surface of where we're going with this. The Guild has come together, and we've got a full-time executive director now that's going to be really focused on building.
She came
our
over
trail.
And said hi to us. And,
did you try to talk to her? Yeah,
yes.
She came from the Department of Tourism. Really exciting. So I feel like she's going to take us to another level. Department of Tourism has really stepped up and taken notice of what we've done just on our own for these first 2 years, and they're really excited about the growth and the potential. So I think like all the stars are aligning, everything's coming together, and it's amazing when you get this kind of brotherhood together, and there's just such a bright future ahead. So if you get an opportunity to come to a Tennessee Whiskey Trail event, whether it's Grains and Grits, next fall, put it in your calendar. We've got in December in Nashville at the Omni.
Are you going to be?
Guild event. I'll be there.
We were talking about that with Tatum, but Tennessee Whiskey Christmas, I'm looking forward to both of them. We will be there. We will be podcasting the event.
All right.
Because we just are a glutton. I will tell you, because this is all going to get cut out, Greg and I have been interrupted no less than 4 times while we were trying to podcast here. I feel bad because Greg's a busy guy. And he goes, why are you doing these live events? And I go, well, it's part of the fun to show that it is a live event, that this is happening, but it's also a great chance to get people like you to come by. So I will see you at Tennessee Whiskey Christmas. And if you want more information about Tennessee Whiskey Christmas, go to TennesseeWhiskeyWeekend.com. I think there was some questions about the name, and then it eventually changed to Tennessee Whiskey Christmas. Yes. Maybe I could be wrong.
I think that's my understanding. That's the name of it now. Yes.
Tennessee Whiskey Christmas.
And then in the spring we have Spirits and Souls in Memphis. So that'll be the second year of that, and it was an amazing event put on by Old Dominic, and they just knocked it out of the park with that event. So
I will say the one thing for the Tennessee Trail is you guys are a lot of fun. I think that's the number one thing, and one of the reasons why I love the Tennessee Whiskey Trail so much. I mean, not only because there's great whiskey here and there's great other spirits. It's what I was talking to Tatum about before you is, the variety that Tennessee has opposed to Kentucky. But the thing that I love is just how much fun you have. It reminds me of those older days where everybody talks about, like, Jimmy and Booker and
yes.
Elmer, like those guys would hang out, give each other shit, like
yes,
and that's how the Tennessee Trail is, I think, that it's not all corporate.
That's right.
You know, this event here, you have Andy Nelson, you have, the Chris Tatums, the Heath Clarks, the
Keener,
Stantons.
yes.
All these distillers come here and they actually like each other. Crazy enough.
Yeah, it's crazy. You would think that everyone would be fighting it out, but really we all come together and talk shop. I mean, what better business and industry could we be in? I mean, it's hard not to have fun. So, and you get these guys together, it's always a blast. And I think the pride, everyone takes pride in what they do, and it just shines through. And when you get to share something with other people that you enjoy and that they enjoy, it's always going to be a good time.
All right. What is your favorite moonshine, though, that you guys
My
make?
favorite moonshine. So I have a standard answer to this, and I answer it with a question. So you have kids?
Yes.
More than one?
No.
No. All right. You had siblings?
Yes. I mean, we are dads drinking bourbon. So
Yes,
we
dads, right? So which child was your parents' favorite?
Me.
You. Very easy answer.
If
yeah.
you asked my sister, it was me.
Yeah. So I think my answer to that is it depends on the day of the week, maybe the time of day, So with the moonshine, it's absolutely that way. It just depends on who you're with, what you're doing. Is it hot out? Is it cold out? Maybe one of my least favorites, I'll start with, was blackberry early on. And then one day I was out on a boat. It was hot. We were all just kind of swimming, hanging out, and I jumped up in the boat and I grabbed a bottle of ice cold blackberry moonshine or Sugarland Shine and jumped back in the water and started passing that around. And it was just the best damn moonshine. And ever since then, it's now still one of my favorites. Just changed my perception of it. So
there are certain whiskeys, I think it does that for whiskey for me. Like, there are certain whiskeys I imagine, like, I could be out on a hot summer day and actually drink it because it's a little bit lighter,
yes.
a little fruitier, and I'm like, this is like a white wine opposed to a red wine. You know?
Absolutely.
Greg, thank you so much for coming, and we'll look for maybe get you on again in December.
Yeah, I'd love to. So,
cheers.
Thank you. Cheers.
So, Grains and Grits is almost over. We're closing out the night with two of my favorite people, the Simpers.
Hey.
Introduce yourself to everyone.
Hi, John. I'm Carmen Simfer with Little Arrow Outdoor Resort, one of the co-owners. We have hosted the distillers from Tennessee Whiskey Guild, and it has been amazing.
I think it was amazing. I don't necessarily remember it all.
I'm Cassie Simfer. I'm the marketing director for Little Arrow Outdoor Resort.
And it is a family establishment, right?
Yes.
Because
Yes.
Carmen is your mom.
Yeah,
Yes.
she is my mom.
And
And boss. And my dad is also my boss, Brad.
now, how is it having your parents as your boss?
Honestly, it's really fun. It's fun to work with them. I don't know. It's challenging at times, but it's super fun because it's fun to see their different work styles. My dad is super organized like myself. We're more similar. And my mom is more of like the creative. She starts all the fun projects.
And I want to mention, I mean, Little Arrow is awesome. I've been there a few times now. Father's Day, we were out there. My daughter had the most amazing time because you guys have a pool.
Yes.
You have a playground for the kids.
Mm-hmm.
You have an awesome fire pit.
Yes, a
Each
teepee.
individual cabin has its own fire pit. Cabin, tiny home. There's glamping tents. There's an Airstream.
Yes.
You can bring your own RV. There are fire pits everywhere.
We've got it all.
You do have it all. It's an awesome, it's like the coolest little campground I think I've ever been to.
Aw.
And I really enjoy it there. And the fact that you guys are there and you are a family, you bring that family atmosphere to Little Arrow as well. But that's not the reason why I had you guys on. I mean, thank you so much for having me at Little Arrow. But let's talk about Grains and Grits. This is in your backyard.
This is fun.
This
you all
is
are the
amazing.
queens of Townsend.
Queens of
The
Townsend.
I don't know about that, but
Tell me a little bit about this event because you have been hosting the guild for a while at Little Arrow. This is the 4th year of Grains and Grits. You guys host the guild there. You participate in the event. What has been your favorite thing about the event tonight?
Tonight, the best thing, definitely the food and the cocktails.
What was your favorite place that you got food?
My favorite was the shrimp and grits,
From Old Mill?
Old Forge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll know. I think my favorite part was the party at Little Arrow last night with all the distillers. And the cooking from RT Lodge was phenomenal.
Now,
But we
Tatum
had
and
a
I
good
were talking
time.
about that earlier. That barbecue was great. That was some of the best collard greens I
Oh
think
my-
I've ever
yes.
had.
I was just
yeah,
gonna say
sweet
that.
potatoes.
I normally don't like that, but oh my gosh, Trevor Stockton, shout out. That tasted amazing.
Now, did you guys get Walnut Kitchen? Because I think, I don't want to keep talking about it, but I think that's been my favorite
I think
thing.
Carmen did.
Yes, the dessert was amazing. RT Lodge rocks it.
Well, no, the Walnut Kitchen, they had the pecan
Walnut
pie.
Kitchen.
I've made it to the Walnut Kitchen restaurant before, but I did not make it to their booth tonight.
No, they made a sausage.
Really?
And the sauce and the sausage was made with H. Clark Black and Tan, and it was so
It was
good.
delicious.
It was very delicious.
Culinary amazement.
Yeah.
What was your favorite whiskey here? What are you drinking on right now over there?
I am sipping on some Old Forge Pumpkin White Russian. It's
Both
really
of
good.
you have it.
Pumpkin White Russian.
It's
Amazing.
It's good. My other favorite is Doc Collier in Gallenberg.
Oh, she just spilled. Party foul.
as
doesn't
long
quite
as you
fit.
didn't get it on the barrel head, I'm okay with that.
Oh, I can't fire her, but
No.
if I could, she spilled her drink.
You can't fire her,
No.
but it's fine. It's fine.
Fine. It just got on the plastic tablecloth.
What is your favorite thing about Grains and Grits? I mean, tell me more from a fan perspective, because I've been behind this chair all night. Tell me a little bit from the fan perspective about Grains and Grits.
The food, the ability to taste each whiskey, each distillery specialty, phenomenal.
Yeah.
Honestly, for me, I just love seeing the people come out to Townsend, even from like 30 miles to hour. I mean, people come from Nashville, people come from all over the state to Townsend.
Yeah, they
I
do.
mean, that is my favorite part, to see all these people come here and gather and like taste these spirits together and eat the food. That's my favorite part, is just to see everyone come together and like celebrate what we have here in Tennessee. I just think that's honestly really special.
Well, I am so happy. I just want to dance with someone.
Somebody
Dance
who
with
loves
somebody.
me.
Somebody that loves me. But the band
We
has
love
been
you,
awesome.
John.
Well, I love you guys. And
We
and
love Dad's drinking bourbon.
both of you. I was very lucky to meet both of you earlier this year, and I hope I'll be able to come out to Little Arrow for years to come.
Absolutely.
Because you are two of my favorite people. And maybe we can do another Dad's Drinking Bourbon
I would
event
love that.
next
Annual.
year.
Annual, totally.
Well, we might have to talk about doing it on a different day other than Father's Day this
It's
year, but
okay.
that's another talk. But we will do.
Let's
We
do it
got
the
you,
weekend
John.
before.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much
Thank
for
you.
letting me crash in the cabin. And then thank you so much for just being awesome people. Little Arrow Resort, how can the folks find you? Like, where are you?
Let's ask our marketing director,
Yeah.
Cassie.
Are you on the grams?
We are on the gram at Camp Little Arrow on Instagram. You can find us on Facebook and on our website, camplittlearrow.com.
And you guys are constantly doing cool stuff. Like, it's not just Dad's Drinking Bourbon that comes in and does a podcast there. Hey, like today you had people signing up for a road race, right?
Yes.
So like there's always food trucks that are
trucks
hanging
every
out
weekend.
at Little Arrow. There's a bunch of cool stuff there. Go on and check
Yeah.
them out. I'm so happy that I got to
Yes.
see you guys tonight, and thank you for stopping by.
John, you're amazing. We love you.
You are amazing.
Aw,
And
thank
you
you.
can find them on the grams, on Facebook and all that. You can find the dads at Dad's Drinking Bourbon on Facebook, Dad's Drinking Bourbon on Instagram, Bourbon Dads on Twitter. Find us on wherever you find your podcast. Whatever it is, we are on it. Please listen to us. We hope you enjoy us. Thank you guys for
Thank
coming.
you, John.
Thank you to the Tennessee Whiskey Trail and to the Tennessee Distillers Guild for letting us crash Grains and Grits. This
Yes.
has been one of my favorite events all year.
Cassie and Carmen might have a little crush on John, but it's all good.
Cheers.
Cheers.